Happy 4th of July, everybody. Welcome into Hockey Sense. Wow, what a week it's been around the NHL. Just crazy. It seems like everything's done, but then apparently it's not. Everyone was thinking Nikolai Ehlers once he signs, which he did with Carolina. Don't know what Carolina's doing, by the way. Listen, Ehlers is a good player. He's not a guy that's just going to lead you and carry you. He's always going to fall under somebody. And, in the case of Carolina, they have other guys obviously on their roster that you would look to be the leading guys, or the main guys, I guess, when it comes to producing offense, but still making a good amount of money. And I just feel like Ehlers is a guy that Carolina already has. So I didn't intend to start the show off by talking about Nikolai Ehlers and the Carolina Hurricanes, but nonetheless, here on Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. You thought he would be the last domino to drop, and then now all the Bowen Byram rumors just continue. St. Louis, I listen, they're kicking tires on it. They're always looking to find ways to add young players like a Byram who can be a part of the future going forward. Listen, the Blues aren't as far away as people think that they are. And it's interesting this week being out of prospect camp and watching, the prospects on center stage. This is their time to shine here in the month of July. And it's an annual event, the prospect camp, right? And you can get excited about some guys. Sometimes you want to, pump the brakes. But I remember being excited about a guy like Nico Mikkola years ago and Tage Thompson years ago and TJ Oshie, Eric Johnson, all these guys. And people are always saying pump the brakes. No reason to pump the brakes. I saw Ben Bishop years ago. You knew these guys were going to be good players. I just have that feeling about a guy like Justin Carbonneau. He just looks like he's going to be a player for a long time. He just brings a unique package that you just don't see in a whole lot of young players in today's game, just in terms of with the aggressiveness and just that FU mentality that he brings to the table, at least with the guys his age. Now, is he going to have the same balls on the ice against older, proven players? And he might have to put his tail between his legs a little bit here at a young age, but I don't know. One of the first things that Carbonneau said when I interviewed him after he was selected, and just minutes after being selected in the first round by the Blues, and he said, "I'm not afraid of anybody." And if you watch him play, yeah, it doesn't look like he is. But it's just not his ability to play through people and the directness, as Doug Armstrong calls it. It's the skill level that he brings to the table, too. This guy can score from distance. He can score in tight. He's dynamic in one-on-one situations. He's got a plethora of moves that he's willing to go to beat a defender. Just high-octane energy, high-octane skill for Justin Carbonneau. So, again, he came into camp and did what you hoped any first-round pick would do, and that is wow you. Adam Urasek is another guy who I'm just anxious to see who he is and what he develops into. He's had a lot of injuries. The Blues took him in the first round. He hasn't played a lot of hockey since even prior to the Blues selecting him. He was hurt a lot this past year. His season was limited. He plays almost like a lesser version of Alex Pietrangelo, because if you remember Pietrangelo when he came into training camp, and I'm not saying he's going to be Pietrangelo, so don't try to twist my words. But when Pietrangelo came in, and the Blues, I guess didn't have a spot for him, and that's why they sent him back. But listen, he was the 4th overall pick. If he played at a little bit of a higher level at the time when he came in, he would have had a job. And he just wasn't ready. And so that's what it comes down to for Alex Pietrangelo, who, by the way, is going through something right now, and we just wish him the best. Congratulations on an unbelievable career, and I just hope he's healthy and he can, maintain a healthy lifestyle and have fun with his kids and do whatever he wants to do. But Pietrangelo, he wasn't strong enough. He just wasn't ready enough or ready to play in the National Hockey League at the time. And that's kind of how I see Urasek right now. He's just not there. So he's going to be interesting to pay attention to. They've got other players that you can be excited about. Pekarsik and Stancil and some of these guys. Lindstein, who was there this past week. You've got some good players, and we all knew the Blues certainly did. Even going back to last year's World Juniors, how everybody performed, you just kind of had a feeling. Logan Mailloux, he's going to join us on this edition of Hockey Sense. I'm looking forward to having this conversation. And I want to talk hockey with him. If you're expecting me to have a Barbara Walters one-on-one, Maury Povich, um, Larry King interrogation interview, which I'm willing to do those. I like those type of interviews also, but we're just so far removed from, the situation that took place prior to him even being drafted back in 2021. So, do I chalk it up to a young kid making a stupid mistake and doing something dumb that a lot of young kids have done? Uh, I do. I do. Every team keeps group chats. They've got text message groups. Who knows what's in these text message groups, man? I don't think anybody wants to know. But in this particular case, something got out, and he's been able to play past it and move past it and mature past it. And I guess when you go to a new team, it gets brought up again. But that's not my purpose or my point of having Logan Mailloux on with us today, man. I want to talk hockey with this kid who's got an unbelievable skill set. As a right-hand shot, everyone's looking for these defensemen who can play, who have size, who have the skill that he has. You watch the way that he plays and how comfortable he is with the puck on his stick and his ability to maneuver through traffic and stick handle through traffic and dangle. Like, he's a guy that I wouldn't be surprised if Jim Montgomery tapped on the shoulder in a shootout situation and said, hey, you go ahead and it's your turn, man. You're up. You don't see too many defensemen do that, but he does bring a unique skill set. Some people have compared him to Evan Bouchard. I don't think that's a comparison that's too far off with the way Mailloux shoots the puck, man. He could absolutely just fire it. He's got a bomb from up top, gets it through, quick release, head up, but he can move his feet and, get to the spot to even create a better shot selection for himself. And that takes brains, it takes vision, anticipation, hockey sense, all of that. And I'm trying to think of the last Blues defenseman they've had, right shot, who has had this type of skill set. And Alex Pietrangelo, I think, would be the closest you'd come to it. He was such a great player, obviously, here in St. Louis, drafted 4th overall, and of course, being a right shot. Kevin Shattenkirk played differently than Logan Mailloux, didn't have the size or the length that Mailloux has, or the nastiness. I mean, Mailloux will get aggressive. I mean, just go to YouTube and you can see some of the fights he's gotten into, the contact that he doesn't seem to shy away from either. So again, if I said I was excited about him, listen, that's an understatement. And I know a lot of people have a hard time giving up a guy like Zachary Bolduc, and you just look at Montreal. Montreal has a surplus of defensemen. That's why Mailloux's expendable. They need some scoring on the wing. The Blues have a surplus of scoring on the wing. Now you add Justin Carbonneau to the equation, and even if he doesn't turn pro this year, he's not that far off. And I don't know what he's going to choose between college and major junior. It's like your favorite, flavor of ice cream. You talk to different people. Everyone has different opinions as to what he should do. His team in the Quebec League is loading up. They're going to have a chance to win. He's told me he's never really been in a situation where he's had a chance to win. So that would be important to him. You have to assume that he'd have a chance to win at Boston College as well, especially if Hagens ends up returning. And if those two guys can, team up with one another, play together, who knows, maybe they could win a national championship at the NCAA level. But fewer games, it's just a different situation, junior versus college. If he's only going to be in college for a year, I don't know if it's completely necessary to move on. As Doug Armstrong said yesterday, and I totally agree, and I thought it was a good point to say that he's already got a thick frame. He's a big body. So I know there is an advantage of going to college because you are in the weight room. They've got greater facilities. You're not playing as many games. You spend more time training, and you can bulk up a little bit easier, a little bit quicker that way. And this guy is just naturally built that way. He talks about his football background. Um, so again, for 1 year, um, I don't know how much of a difference it would make in terms of his ability to be ready to play NHL games. Maybe at this point next year, he could be pushing for a spot come training camp next season. Now, some people have suggested he could push for a spot this year. Maybe. I mean, in reality, with Bolduc leaving, there is a spot that you could compete for a top 9 spot on the right side, um, wing position with Bolduc moving on. You got neighbors there. And then you get to Buchnevich and Kyrou and Holloway and Snuggerud and all these guys. So who knows? I mean, all I'll say is this. He won't be in training camp if he goes to Boston College. If he goes and plays in the Q, he will be in training camp, and he's going to get preseason games, and he's going to have an opportunity to show what he can do. And then we can kind of pick up this conversation. We've seen players come in and make the team in their first year of NHL eligibility. Robert Thomas did it. Robbie Fabry did it. There's been a number of guys who have done it. It's not easy to do. It's not like everybody comes in at 18 and makes an NHL roster, especially when you're drafted 19th overall. Typically, those are reserved for guys who are picked in the top 5, maybe top 10. I can't believe he slipped to 19. This is going to be an interesting one to pay attention to moving forward as well. But in terms of who won the deal, well, both teams had a need. That both teams got good players. Both teams got players around the same age. And Bolduc has more NHL experience. Typically, it's easier to get, or quicker. You can get to the NHL quicker as a forward versus a defenseman. It takes a little more time for a D-man. So he's got a little bit more of a body of work to showcase in terms of Bolduc. He played a full season last year, came up the year before, and didn't score in the playoffs. But listen, after Jim Montgomery took over, his game just took off. I like Bolduc as much as anybody, man. I mean, if you would have told me that they were going to trade Zachary Bolduc, I wouldn't have believed you, because typically you just don't see NHL players after one full season who scored 19 goals get traded. But you don't see 6'3" right shot defenseman with Mailloux's skill set get moved either. So again, fun conversation coming up in a few minutes here on Hockey Sense. Looking forward to that. Nick Bukestad comes on board. I guess he can play wing. He can play center. You have some flexibility there. Sundqvist can play wing. Sundqvist can play center. I'm just curious if they were to make a move for a Bowen Byram. I mean, a roster player is going to have to go who's making a little bit of money. And maybe you can send a Joseph. Maybe you can send a Texier. That obviously wouldn't get the deal done. You'd have to include a big time prospect. You'd hate to part with a Urasek or a Lindstein or something like that, but I would imagine it would take one of those type of prospects to get a Bowen Byram done. And then you're going to have to get him signed. But he is represented by the same agent that represents Philip Broberg. So, there's some familiarity there, and they got to get his deal done at some point over the course of the next year. So maybe you say, hey, I'm going to do this now. You got to take care of me when we get back to the negotiating table, when we start negotiating Broberg's deal. There's all different types of ways to negotiate deals. So we'll see how that plays out with Bowen Byram. But he doesn't want to sign long-term for Buffalo. Buffalo can't afford to just keep losing guys for nothing or whatever. And they just lose everybody. I don't understand what's going on there in Buffalo. And I shouldn't say that, I guess, because certain guys have signed. Tage Thompson signed. They kept Dahlin. They kept Owen Power. They've kept some guys. But they've lost a lot of guys, man. They're in Buffalo. Eventually, you're going to have to start keeping your guys. But I like the Blues roster right now in terms of how it's set up. As long as they get the same goaltending they got last season, this team should be in position to win a round come playoff time, compete for a top 3 spot in the division. Last year, I thought they'd come in and compete for a wild card spot. I think this year you could see this team compete for a top 3 position, assuming Snuggerud takes another step, assuming that Broberg and Holloway continue to show us that they are who we think they are. And then you get the production and the performances from the guys that you would expect. But if you think you're going to move Justin Falk, who's got no trade protection, and if you think he's going to waive to go to Buffalo, that's just not happening. So again, you might have to get a third team involved. You just wonder what's going on behind the scenes with Bo and Byram. So again, I didn't want to spend too much time with it. We're recording this on 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Got my USA on today, but it's early in the morning. So, but there may be some news later on today that obviously takes place after we're done recording. So we'll see how that plays out. Nonetheless, not a very exciting free agency. I mean, Florida brings everybody back, and people ask, hey, who's the most impressive team in free agency? You'd have to say the Florida Panthers because they kept everybody. I mean, it's amazing that they're able to do that. But listen, and players want to stay there. They want to play there. I don't know what's going on in Toronto. You don't know what they're going to do. I mean, people are saying, hey, this isn't the roster they're going to go to camp with, but what are they doing? They don't have a whole lot of prospects. They don't have a whole lot of draft picks. What are they moving to go accomplish what they want to do to get better on their roster? I don't know, but they better get better. Otherwise, they're almost at a point as a franchise, they got to decide what they want to do. They had their window to win. They didn't get it done. Now they're losing players, who were a big part of that, like Mitch Marner. And, are they still good enough? Is the window still open to win? They still have great players in William Nylander and Austin Matthews. And, Matthew Knies is a fine young player. He's not a superstar the way they make him out to be. He's a good player, though. We'll see how he evolves. Maybe he turns into one. I don't see any star players in the back end. They've got some good players like Tanev and Morgan Riley and some of these guys. No star players in the back end. They kept Tavares. I don't know about Toronto. And I don't know about the LA Kings and what the hell Kenny Holland is doing. You know what? I think that team is ruined, man. I really do. You look at the LA Kings, I think they're done. I think the last couple of years they were pushing towards becoming greater than relevant in the Western Conference. They were up 2-0 on Edmonton. Then they lose a series, and then you look at all the players that they added and how much money they spent on unnecessary signings this offseason, and they're just adding random players. That's not how you build a championship team in LA. First Community can tell you how to build a championship team. Nobody does it better than First Community. They've got over 40 locations here in Missouri and Illinois, but they're adding another one. They just added the Sunset Hills location, so check that out. South Lindbergh and West Watson Road. That's where you can find that one. Brand new, beautiful, full-service branch. They've got the drive-through. They've got the ATM, full ATM Plus service. For a complete list of branches, go to firstcommunity.com, and you can visit the website there, see all the hours. You can stop by a branch. They've got you covered, First Community. Plus, they've got that Little Blues program. Get your son or daughter signed up for Little Blues and find out if they can love the game. They have the passion for the game. It comes with everything, including your skates and sticks and everything. You get like 6 ice times, great instruction, 4 to 9 years of age. If you've never played organized hockey, you qualify. Sign up for Little Blues and do it today. Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop. Download that app and find the location nearest you. This is a great day to go to Dirt Cheap, I'll tell you that. And nobody has a better selection of beer, wine, and booze than Dirt Cheap. Plus, don't sleep on their paper goods. They've got everything you need for the 4th of July. If you've got 4th of July parties coming up, barbecues, cookouts, anything happening over the course of the next few weeks, back-to-school parties, all of that, pool parties, birthday parties. Get everything you need at Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop. Download the app. Get all the great deals there, too. The Wallace family just flat out getting it done. Nobody does it better than the Wallace family, man. Love everything they do. Taking St. Louis to the next level, one dirt cheap at a time. The Wallace family, man, they are the best. So is Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop. You know who's in a good mood today? David Novak from Blue Note Roofing. If you heard him on the show last week or the week before, whenever he was on with us a couple weeks ago, what did he say? His guy was Pius Suter. That was his guy. That's who he wanted. And the Blues certainly, they go out and get this guy who's versatile. He's got some versatility. He's not the quickest player. He's not going to, wow you with his speed, but he's smart. He knows where to be, and he's coming off a great season. 25 goals scored last season. Now, it's the old question that a lot of scouts say, hey, is he a 25-goal scorer, or did he just score 25 goals? I think it's probably more of the latter. He scored 25 goals versus you can expect him to put up 25 again. shooting percentage was very high, scores a lot of goals around the net. They had injuries. He was moved up the lineup, played with some really good players there. But listen, he's a good ad. 2-year contract. Keep the seat warm for Dalibor Dvorsky. He can play with good players. He and Shen can kind of be interchangeable between that second and third line center position. So again, love that with Pius Suter. So David Novak, 314-920-5713. You got to be kidding me. David Novak called it. He said the Blues were going to sign Pius Suter. That was his guy. Call him today. Now get roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, whatever it is you're looking for. Call David Novak. This guy's a genius. He's a Hockey Insider now. David Novak with Blue Note Roofing. Again, 314-920-5713. All right, Logan Mailloux. He's going to join me next. This is Hockey Sense. I'm Andy Strickland. Happy 4th of July. As always, brought to you by First Community. Aiden's in the house. We're at Half Coast Studios. Fun show planned ahead. 4th of July special. Don't go anywhere. All right, Logan. First off, man, you can't be showing up to the show with that background. I mean, you're right on the water. Where are you? You said you're in the States. Where are you at?
Yeah. So Traverse City, Michigan, actually.
Love Traverse
So
City.
yeah,
Used to have the
yeah.
prospect
So
tournament there for years. Yeah,
yeah,
so
I did actually. I never played in that. We never went there actually, but a bunch of my buddies did.
yeah.
So yeah. But
Where would
hoping to
Montreal?
come down. Hoping to come down to St. Louis soon.
What's your plan? When do you want to come down? Or hoping to come down?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, it's just been a crazy few days to be honest. So I've just been trying to figure it out still, but like whenever I can. So
Were you thinking you could get traded? I know like once the Dobson trade happened, I guess anything's possible, but if only
yeah,
2 years of age, maybe they want to hang on to you. But were you thinking like, hey, I better pay attention here that something could go down?
yeah, I think so. Especially after I think after we picked up Dobson, I mean, like I feel like we just have a lot of like we had a lot of young D men there too. So some good players too. Like I think like Ryan Backer and stuff too. So I definitely knew there's a chance I was getting traded. I thought for sure somebody was going to get traded. I didn't know if it was going to be me or someone else, but that ends up being me. And no, I'm really excited here, to be honest. So
All right, listen, I got to ask you this because everyone is drawing these comparisons and people are throwing out Evan Bouchard. And listen, you do score goals and he scores goals. Um, you're a right shot. He played in London, you played in London. So I'm trying to figure out, is that why they're making the comparison? Or do you really see a lot of similarities in his game in yours? Or who do you kind of pattern your game after?
yeah, I don't think I see a lot of similarities, to be honest. Like I like how he shoots the puck. I like how he does all of that, to be honest. Like he works the blue line really good for a guy who doesn't skate like Makar or like Hughes. I feel like he works the line really good and he makes a real good first pass. But I wouldn't say he's my one of my player comparables. I feel like I haven't been asked this since my draft here like 4 years ago. So um maybe I like Petrangelo, John Carlson bit more. Like to have a little bit of snarl in my game. I think so too. So yeah.
There you go. How many fights you have last year?
Only 2 or 3. I try to hit 3 at least every year.
Do you
So
fight angry? Are you a guy who's looking for it, or is it reactionary? Like you're sticking up for a teammate, or maybe someone takes a run at you and it just kind of happens? Or does that help you get
oh,
into the game?
bit of both. Bit of both. It definitely gets you into the game. I think that was one of the things I think I learned a lot more this year too was so Rob Ramage was our player development guy in Montreal. Lives in St. Louis actually, but he told me like one of the keys he thought when he played was he had to get into the game, find a way to get into the game right away, whether it's get hit, throw a hit, get in a scrum, whatever it was. and I feel like I play my best game since like once I find a way to do something early, like whether it's me getting blown up or me hitting a guy or just getting a little like punch in the face or giving one, like I feel like that just like wakes you up a little more and it gets you going, you know? So I feel like I've been trying to do that a lot more. Just get me into the game right away and it's basically like let's go now.
Yeah.
So
Listen, we love Rob Ramage, man. I mean, and his son Johnny, and yeah, he
yeah.
is here in St. Louis, and he's spoken highly of you. Former London Knight as well, so there's a lot of connection. But give me an idea how long you've known him. I know he works in player personnel, obviously with Montreal, but just describe the relationship you two have.
Yeah, so I've known him since before I was drafted. Even like I met him. He used to come to London. Came to London and he spoke to our team before. Uh, and then I mean, obviously he's been through a lot of stuff himself, a lot of personal stuff himself, and then when I was going through some stuff off ice, he was definitely a guy that I leaned on. I feel like we had a lot of good discussions. We had some tough discussions too, and I think he's definitely a guy who's been there with me through the thick and thin of it. So for sure. But I mean, I've known him for it's got to be over 4 or 5 years now, over
Listen,
five probably.
yeah, I gotta ask you this because
So.
I know you like withdrew your name from the draft and all of that, but were you just expecting nobody to draft you? Like, what was your reaction when Montreal selected you? Like, did you think there was a chance that they were going to take you, and were you completely shocked that they did?
It was a weird week for sure. I feel like so the draft was on so it was like an it was all on Zoom and everything like because it was COVID
Got it.
going on. So we were all so everyone was at home. But yeah, so I renounced my name on Tuesday and the draft was Friday. I feel like Wednesday I didn't think I was gonna get drafted at all. Uh which I was fine with, to be honest. That's what I asked for. So I thought that I needed to take that year and work on myself. But you can't actually pull yourself from the draft, which we learned. So so Wednesday I thought I wasn't gonna get picked. Thursday I was hearing there's a chance I might go like late in the draft. And then Friday morning I heard that I was just like doing my normal day, like workout, skate, uh, at home, and I heard that there's a chance I could go tonight, so I had to watch. Uh, and then yeah, I was just watching, and I had no clue it was happening, to be honest. Like first time I saw was when Mark Bergevin came on TV there and picked me. So yeah, I mean, I think it was a whirlwind of emotions for sure. It was it was weird because obviously me asking to not be picked and then they picked me, but I think they helped me a ton and they gave me the opportunity to lean on them and kind of work with them through that whole situation. And they've been great helps for me. They over the past it's been 4 years now. So uh, but I mean they gave me a second chance and another opportunity, and I've just been trying to do the best with it, to be honest. So on and off ice. So just trying to make strides here.
Yeah. Scott Mellenby, obviously, he's a guy who was with Montreal. He's now with St. Louis, so he's got some familiarity with you as well. If you didn't renounce your name and there wasn't any maybe controversy attached to you, where do you think you would have gone, Logan? Because like even Jim Montgomery, the head coach of the Blues, said you probably would have gone in the top 10. Like, were you projected to go that high?
Uh, I don't know. I don't think so. Not really. Maybe. I mean, you never know. All it takes is one team to like you, you know. But I honestly don't know. I wasn't projected to go that high. Like I feel like all the rankings and stuff, like I wasn't projected to go that high. But yeah, I don't know. It could have happened maybe, but
Hey, well,
but
you
it's all
never
good. It
know.
all
You
worked
never know.
out.
You never know. What's your relationship like with Dale Hunter and the Hunter family? Like how great of an opportunity was that for you to go to London and
Yeah,
develop there?
it was unreal. I think Dale and Mark and Dylan and the whole staff there. I think like so I went there when I was 16 and I didn't play when I was 16. So I played junior B in London and just like kind of practiced with the team and just played like I don't know what it was, 4 or 5 games with the Knights that year. So I just played junior B that season. And and I feel like that was the best thing for me at the time because I was like second round pick to the O, and like I came in thinking like, oh, like I want to play right away. Like I look around the league, like some of the other like second round picks, they're all playing on other teams, and they just kind of told me, and some of the guys told me to just kind of trust the process there. And next, I mean, they're an NHL, so you just kind of trust what they do. But no, I mean, I still talk to Mark and stuff pretty often. Uh, so yeah, my relationship it runs pretty deep there with the Knights for sure.
All right, so everyone knows that you put up points. You scored a ton of goals in London, and you scored a lot of goals in the American League the last couple of years. How's your defense? Like, how much are you working on your defensive game, and where do you think it's at? Because everyone seems to have an opinion, but nobody's really watched you play, Logan. So, like, you tell me where you at defensively.
Yeah, I think this past year, I feel like it got a lot better. I feel like even my first year in the A, like I had better numbers my rookie year, to be honest. But I don't think my game was as rounded as it was this past season. I feel like we had we had some new coaches come to Laval, and both the seasons I was there, we had great coaches. But we just had new coaches coming this year, and I feel like they had a different way of of teaching and stuff. And I feel like I learned a lot. I worked with my D coach Dan Jacob a lot, and just on like little details and stuff. But I feel like I never really fine tuned before uh, defensively. So, but I think it's good enough for sure. I don't think I'm slaving out there, but I think it's pretty good.
All right, so your
Maybe I'm a
last
little biased, but
yeah, no, that's okay, man. You should be biased. You should be biased. You gotta pump your own tires too. So your last name is Mailloux. You speak perfect English. You're from like the Windsor area. Like you're answering questions in French the other day on the Zoom that you did. So
yeah.
tell me about your upbringing? Like, are you French Canadian? Is your family French Canadian? With a name like Mailloux, it sounds like you would be.
Yeah, you'd assume so, eh? But no, I'm actually not. So my parents have actually put me and my sister in a full French grade school growing up. And so I was in full French grade school in Bell River, so just outside of Windsor, Ontario, until probably grade 8. And then after then I was like, you know, like I never speak French outside of school here. Like I'm done with this. Like give me to an English high school. Like so then I stopped speaking French for about 5 6 years, and then turns out I end up getting drafted there, and so I started to pick it back up. But that's the story behind the French. But yeah, I mean I grew up in Bell River, just outside of Windsor, Ontario. I mean played hockey there pretty much for my whole life until till minor midget. Actually, my draft year, I went to Toronto and played for the Marlies or Marbros, and I got to have Paul Coffey as my coach actually. So I thought that was pretty neat. We had a pretty good team too, so that was a good experience. But I mean, yeah, played some other sports too. Box, lacrosse, little football too. So yeah. No, I mean, it's a good old Canadian boy, I guess.
What position are you playing in football? It's funny because Justin Carbonneau, who the Blues just drafted in the first round,
Yeah,
he played football too. He's like a linebacker and a running back. So, like,
yeah.
what position were you?
I played defensive end and tight end. I like defensive end more to be honest. JJ Watt was my favorite player for a long time. So but I'm not even a Texans fan, but he was my favorite player for a while. So
You're
yeah.
you're getting some sacks.
It's the best.
Yeah,
It's the best. The best feeling. Chasing down that guy trying to throw the ball. The
I love
best.
it. I love it. Hey, who was on your Marlies team? Because you played with Wyatt Johnson. Was that before that in Saint
No,
Louis?
that was that year. That
What
was
was
that
that?
year
Okay.
on the Marlies, yeah.
How good
I'm
was
trying to
he?
think. Oh, he was butter. He was butter. Like he's just so like even at that age, like he just thought like he thinks the game's so good that like down the middle, he's everywhere. He supports the puck low. Like this is in like minor midget hockey. Like he's supporting the puck low and then he's dancing guys at the other end, like making butter sauces with like 14. I'm like, this kid's nasty. Oh, so yeah, he was on that team. Ethan Del Masho was on that team. He's in Chicago now. Up and down there. Uh, they had a bunch of guys who played in the OHL. Uh, I think we had like 13, 14 of the kids drafted to the OHL. Uh, from our team, which was crazy. The only team that had more, I think, was the Don Mills Flyers. That was that they had that super team basically with like Shane Wright and Brant Clark and those guys. So yeah, we were always trying to beat them and couldn't really do it.
No,
So,
you guys would lose in your head-to-head matchups.
no,
Who would win your
yeah, I think
head-to-head
they
games
lost.
there? Yeah. Okay.
What they would, I think they lost one game all year,
Oh, geez.
like the whole season.
Okay. Well, so it wasn't just you guys then. It wasn't just you guys. Hey, listen, if you ever like I'm watching like you dangle guys too. Like it's were you always a defenseman? Did you play forward? Like where do the hands come from?
No, I was a forward. I was a forward until I think um probably like 13ish, probably 13, 14. Uh yeah, right around then. I think 13 maybe was when I switched to being a defenseman. I feel like yeah, I was a forward growing up. Uh, I used to play center actually. And then I switched to D, I think, because one of our guys, like in minor hockey in Sun County, one of our guys went down and coach was like, we need a guy. And I was like, I'll get back there. It's all good. And then kind of never left. So so that's about it from there. But yeah.
All right, so you don't know when you're coming to St. Louis. What do you know about this Blues team though? I was listening to your Zoom call the other day. Like you skate with Kyrou in the summertime. Like you know him, or you just have skated with him a
Yeah, so
few
I
times.
skated with him. I don't skate with him right now, but I have skated with him because he's from London, obviously, and I mean I still go there sometimes, and I know him a little bit. So we were texting the other day actually, but yeah, I mean exciting team. Like I think really like up and coming team. Like got a good mix of young guys, exciting young guys, and some veteran guys who can really play too. So I mean, playoffs last year. It's fun. Like I'm really excited to get here and hopefully help win some games. To be honest, because I mean, I wanna play in the playoffs. I want to play first. I mean, I haven't really played much to be honest, so I just want to play a full season and then hopefully win some games and go from there for sure.
I don't want to keep going back to London, but like Robert Thomas, obviously super talented
Mm.
center iceman for the Blues. Like, how familiar are you with his game? Like, you hear about him even in London, like when you were playing there,
Oh
like
yeah.
because he was part of that
Oh
Royal
yeah,
Cup
for
team
sure.
too. You know.
For sure. No, I mean, they always show like, so we do video like every day in London. I feel like not every junior team maybe does that, but like they'll like clip NHL games, and I feel like there's a lot of Robbie Thomas clips when we sit there for video in London. And no, they always talk about him like Mark. I was talking to Mark Hunter the other day, and he was praising him and good guy, good person, good player, hell of a player. So no, I'm pumped to be honest. I don't know how else to put it.
How many Blues players and have you heard from? Have you heard from a bunch of them? Like, have you been able to get some text messages, going?
Yeah, yeah, I've gotten some text messages from a handful of them, and Braden Shen called me actually, and we had a good chat. So no, I mean some of the guys have reached out, so it's been really nice of them.
Okay. Um, you said a couple times you want to have an impact in the community. You want to do stuff off the ice too. Like, what do you envision? Like, what kind of impact you want to have? I mean, is that something how you've always been? Like, or you don't want to just play here. You want to be a part of the community. Like, explain what you meant by that.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's one of the things. I feel like being playing in the NHL or being a hockey player like this, like you're a role model for so many kids and just younger people look up to you. And I feel like that's definitely one of the things I've learned going through everything is how much of an impact you can have, positive or negative, to be honest. So you got to be able to gel that the right way and be able to make a contribution. So I feel like if I can get out into the community, kind of in St. Louis, and just be able to make an impact for the better and be able to help however I can. I'm not sure like specifically what that could look like right at this minute, but I definitely know that I want to get going there for sure.
Yeah, no, you'll have people here to help you with that. Are there any players like or any people that really have helped you along the way to kind of climb out of it, get your life back on track, get your career back on track that kind of took you under their wing?
Um, I don't really know players wise. Like, I mean, feel like yeah, it was tough because I mean, I feel like Rob Ramage is the one guy I keep thinking of because I mean, like when everything happened, I mean, I was in London still for another season, or was it 2 seasons? Yeah, I was in London for another 2 seasons. So it's not like I was on a team with a bunch of 25, 30-year-old vets and stuff like that. So but I mean the hunters are great help, but I feel like me and Rammer talked pretty often. He'd always come down to London and we go for lunch and talk about stuff because I mean I was when I went back, like I was suspended for half the season from the OHL. So there was a lot of sitting and thinking going on for me that year. And then I came back and I ended up getting hurt and getting surgery after barely any games. So that was definitely a tough year for me, I think. And I feel like I definitely leaned on Rammer to get through it. So for sure.
Do you look at St. Louis as a fresh start, or is it just a continuation of just your hockey career?
That's a good question, actually. Um,
That's what we do around here. Don't act surprised.
no, it's definitely a fresh start. I think it's a different market. One that before getting traded that I wasn't like too familiar with, to be honest. Uh, I've always kind of kept tabs, uh, just because like I know Kyrie a little bit and stuff like that. But no, I mean, yeah, I'd say it's a fresh start for sure. And I mean, they're gonna give me a chance and an opportunity here, so I just wanna, I mean, really give my NHL career going more than I knew.
What number do you want to wear? What's your number?
So I'm picking. I don't know if I'm even supposed to say it, but I've picked it already. So I mean, I was number 24 before, but obviously I can't wear that in St. Louis. So I'm gonna be going with 23 actually.
Okay. That's a good number. That's a good number. Um, Jakob Dobas, man, is that your
Yeah.
boy or what? Like he's a St. Louis kid and love Jakob. Has he
Yeah.
given you any insight as to where you're moving to about St. Louis?
Yeah, he has actually. So I mean, yeah, I love that guy. So we've known each other for years too. I remember like we were talking the other day. Like, we went in there as just a couple kids like at dev camp and kind of shooting the shit with each other, and we end up we ended up becoming super tight. So he's definitely been one of my best friends. Excuse me, in that whole organization, we pretty much talk every day or multiple times. So, but no, he's giving me definitely a few phone calls about what to expect. But he's saying I'm gonna love it and stuff. I mean, he goes back there every summer to himself, and he loves it. So he's been, yeah, ever since I got traded, he's been telling me that I got to come down already. So I'm trying to plan that out right now.
How good is he?
He's a player. Like I'm like last year, end of the season. Like so, our first year in Laval together. Like we both came in first. Oh, first 10 games, 5 to 10 games. Like we were ass. Me and him, we were ass. He was like he was thinking like, oh, like, am I gonna go down the coast? I was like, oh, am I gonna go back to junior? And then something just flipped for us, and we kind of both started playing some pretty good hockey or some for our rookie years. And I think by the end of the year, he was I think he was the best goalie in the A last year by the end of the year. And this year he came down and he just like I felt like he was just a monster in the cage back there. And he goes up and he goes on that 5 game run, and I was loving it, but his head was getting a little too big, so I was happy he eventually lost a game or two, so I couldn't hear any more of that. But no, I'm so happy for that guy, and Elvin Oldman gets a nice deal here, and he gets to stick around there for a bit.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, listen, last thing for you. Just in terms of hockey, man, what what's the next step for you? Because you don't have a whole lot of body of work in the NHL, and but where's the confidence come from to know that you're ready and that you can come in and contribute?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mean, I've only gotten a taste of it to be honest, but I think I mean, I'm confident in myself, but if like we had a lot of guys there last year, but I feel like I could have played some more games in the NHL already. Uh, I felt like I did all right when I had my couple stints up there. I got a good taste of it, but I think just the body of work that I've kind of put in the AHL over the past 2 years, some of the strides I've made with my game, kind of on both sides of the puck. I feel like playoffs, especially playoffs this year. I feel like I was playing the best hockey I've ever played, to be honest. So playoff time was fun. I mean, we lost conference finals in Laval, and we had a good run, and that was a big step from the year before. We didn't even make the playoffs to making it to the conference finals. So that was pretty fun. I think I was playing some of my best hockey at the end of the year.
All right, man. Listen, looking forward to meeting you here in St. Louis. You're going to be a great fit. Fans are going to love you. The team's good, and
Mm.
it's a great opportunity for you. I love watching you shoot the puck. Have you ever been clocked? By the way, how hard are you pounding this thing?
Oh, not. I think it's deceptive. I don't think it's that hard to be honest. I don't know. I haven't been clocked in a bit, so I don't even know what it is.
How hard was it last time you were clocked? When was that? A while ago?
Uh, yeah, I think juniors maybe.
Okay.
Did I do one last year? Uh, yeah, it was like I've I've gotten it above 100 once or twice, but not not every time. I don't think I shoot it. I don't think I shoot it quite as hard as Bouchard, to be honest. So uh, it's fun to watch him do it, though. That's for sure.
Parayko can fire it too, man. Here in St.
Yeah, he
Louis. So
can. He can.
I love how you say it's deceptive, but you've gone over 100 a couple times. Look at you. Go have fun in the sun, man. Enjoy the holiday today. You're down in the States celebrating the 4th of July. So enjoy it. Training camp's going to be here before you know it. And looking forward to seeing you here in St. Louis, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me. Hey, happy 4th of July to all the Americans out there, and yeah, see you soon.
All right. We'll see you soon. Thanks, buddy. Enjoy the rest of the summer.
Yeah, you too, eh? We'll chat
Okay.
soon. Cheers.
All right, Logan. Thanks, buddy. That's Logan Mailloux. Listen, confident kid, you know. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table and how he impacts this roster because I think he's got a really, really good opportunity to do so. I hope you were able to make through some of the technical difficulties that you just can't control when you're doing a Zoom. He's in the middle of nowhere, right there on the water. So I think for the most part, you could understand what he was saying. But really, really good player. He shoots over 100 miles per hour. He's physical. He's tough. And I like how he said, "Listen, I don't really compare myself to Bouchard, you know. And if you read between the lines, I think he's saying like, hey, listen, I'm better than that defensively. I'm not a liability defensively, and I don't mean that for Bouchard either. But we all know that if you watch him play, it gets a lot of attention for mistakes that he makes defensively. I don't anticipate seeing that a ton from Logan Mailloux, and he's going to have some good coaching here, and he's going to play with good players and veteran guys. Um, and I do like the toughness that he brings to the table. If they put him on pair him up with a guy like Tyler Tucker, that's some significant size. I mean, I don't know if you have to force feed him into a top 4 role at this stage of his career. He doesn't have a whole lot of experience. There's no reason to really do that. Let it evolve naturally. You've got Justin Falk here still on the right side. As it sits here when we do this interview, I mean, so you still have him there who has a ton of experience and can still fill a top 4 role for you for sure. And Parayko up top, I mean, you're in a good spot from a right side on the right side of your defense. So anyway, good conversation with Logan Mailloux. I hope you appreciated it. I hope you enjoyed it. Give you an idea of who the Blues are getting. And it's still early morning there for a young kid. It's a holiday weekend. We're bothering him on the holiday. But I thought he'd be in Canada. I didn't think he'd be here in the States. But I appreciate him taking time to join us. We'll step aside. We'll come back and wrap things up on this edition of Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. Don't go anywhere. All right. Hope you enjoyed that conversation with Logan Mailloux. Listen, always enjoy talking to these young kids, man. He's coming to the NHL really as a full-time player for the first time, coming in next season. First time being traded. He's dealt with a lot of adversity, and still trying to overcome a lot of that. But I think his talent and his personality, I think it'll all come together and people will start to really appreciate what you have here in Logan Mailloux. And again, I know, there's some skepticism because of the trade and you're giving up a guy who had a lot of success last year in Zach Bolduc. It's not about Zach Bolduc. Listen, if you're going to get a good player, you got to move on from a good player. I like Bolduc. I'm sure Montreal feels like they got the best player in the deal. I know the Blues feel like they got the best player in the deal. And Montreal got a player that they had an area of weakness in, and the Blues had a player that they needed to strengthen. So Now they've been able to do that. He's one of the most intriguing players for me coming into camp. I don't think there's any question. I didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about Pius Suter, if I'm saying his first name correctly. I remember watching a preseason game in St. Louis when he came in with Chicago. He was undrafted, put up some good numbers, playing in Switzerland, played in Guelph, played with Robbie Fabry in Guelph. And people knew who he was. And then he came here at a mature age, and he's been a regular contributor really since he's stepped foot into the NHL. Last year, scored a career high 25 goals. Like I said before, I don't know if it's a situation where he scored 25 or if he is a 25 goal scorer. You know, his shooting percentage was high, like I said before. But nonetheless, I don't think they need him to score 25. It'd be great if he did. But he's a smart player who can play with good players. Quick decisions with the puck, give and go game. He's not going to burn you with speed. He's not going to impress you with speed. Not the quickest player, but he can play with fast players, if that makes sense. So he can play with a Kyrou. He can play with a Holloway, keep up, and still help them do their thing. So, again, looking forward to it. Hope everyone has a great 4th of July and enjoyed this edition of Hockey Sense. Lourdes Diamonds, they've been around for 70 years. Get that special someone, something special in your life. Are you looking to pop the question? No better place to go. No one has better selection of engagement rings than Lourdes Diamonds. Right there in the heart of Ladue, 314-432-8008. Stop on in, say hi to Mike and Jimmy Lordo. They're the best in the business. We all love Mike and Jimmy. You've got Pat, you got everybody else. There's a reason why they've been so successful over the years, and they are considered the leader in the jewelry industry. Again, 314-432-8008, right next to Truffles in the heart of Ladue, Lourdes Diamonds. Travel house, are you looking to book a vacation? All-inclusives, European vacations, ski vacations, cruises, Hawaii, whatever you're looking to do. Travelhouse.com, Haus. Look it up, give them a call, ask for Gail. She'll take great care of you like she did for us just a few weeks ago. Went to Mexico, had a great time in Mexico. I'll never book a vacation with anyone else other than Travel House. How about Jim Winkleman over at Frontenac Detailing? You know, I just put a picture on my Instagram the other day of what my car looks like now, man. I just took it in there for the ceramic coating, which makes your car look brand new. And my car's relatively new, but listen, you got kids coming in and out. It gets dirty on the inside. I mean, it looks like a brand new car. Like I just drove it off the lot for the first time. This guy is unbelievable, Jim Winkleman. 314-226-7411. Premium detailing. Headlight restoration, paint correction, paint chips, ceramic coatings, window tinting, wheel repair. I had to get some wheel repair too. Hitting those curbs. Windshield repair and replacement. They do everything. Torn seats, burn holes, steering wheel issues, interior scratches, odor mitigation. I mean, you have dents and dings on your car. You got to go see Jim Winkleman at Frontenac Detailing. It's right inside the Honda Frontenac location. So that's where they're located. But Frontenac Detailing, he's the best I've ever seen. I mean, you should see my car. It was not in bad shape, but there were scratches and there were things all over. Full disclosure, my kid took an ice scraper to my car. I mean, scratches everywhere from the ice scraper, and they're gone. They're absolutely gone. Frontenac Detailing, 314-226-7411. You can go online and check it out, frontenacdetailing.com. Again, First Community brings us Hockey Sense each and every week. Go to firstcommunity.com, see all the different loans that they have. Home loans, auto loans. They have different things you can do to save up for vacations, for holiday shopping, for anything you're looking for. They have such a variety over there. Glenn Barks, everybody with the First Community team are just absolutely incredible. They're also hiring if you're looking for a job. You can join the team at First Community. Everything from entry level to management positions. They're an equal opportunity employer with great benefits, including 11 paid holidays, paid vacations, 401k, pension plan. I mean, health and dental insurance is provided at no cost. Are you kidding me? Firstcommunity.com. Check it out. Go get a job at First Community. Why not work there? Dirt Cheap Fun Fun, your one-stop party shop, also proud sponsor of what we do here on Hockey Sense. Blue Note Roofing, again, 314-920-5713. Our hockey insider, Dave Novak, he called. He said the Blues would sign Pius Suter, and they obviously did. Good fit for the St. Louis Blues. All right. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Hockey Sense. We may be taking a week off next week, just so you know. I'll be on vacation. There's some logistic issues. We're going to try to figure that out. If we can record the show, then we will. Otherwise, we'll be back in a few weeks. It's kind of that time of year, vacation. My son's got a hockey tournament, one more hockey tournament this summer, then a family vacation. So trying to get it all in before things get crazy and another season is right in front of us. So appreciate all the support we get on Hockey Sense. We go all year round through the summer talking pucks, and we appreciate Logan Mailloux for stopping by and joining us, man. Looking forward to seeing what this guy's going to bring to the table as a big right shot D-man. For Aiden, for everybody here at Half Coast Studios, I'm Andy Strickland, reminding you to keep your head up and your stick on the ice. Happy 4th of July, USA, baby. Enjoy the time with the family. Enjoy the time at the pool, barbecues, on the lake, on the river, whatever you're doing today. Have fun. Enjoy it. Be safe. We'll do it again next time on Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. Have a great weekend, everybody.